Yo, what it do, what it is, y'all. It's your boy Taylor May Rock, and as always, it's Thursday. It's a No Filter Show. And as always, I'm joined by my great co-host.
Mr. Quickster, 86 mental elixir. You know me as K Quick. These bars are fake. We in here. No filter ish. It's Thursday again.
Mhm.
Asylum.
Okay. It's weird because I'm coming right after Quick, but this is the Blue Phoenix, and I am here. I'm awake, so I guess that's good.
Indeed. Um, Stars running a little bit late tonight, but just Star will definitely be in the building a little bit later on. And GI Mo will not be on the show tonight. He took a loss this week, and our prayers and condolences go out to him and the young lady's family that lost her life.
Yes,
But we're
indeed. Yes,
gonna hold
indeed.
it down. We're gonna hold it down. So it's just us. It's the three of us for right now. How y'all feeling, man?
And I would like to put this out on behalf of GI Mo. I will be doing the majority of the militant asshole activities during this episode. So yeah, hello Nikki, how you doing?
Hey, Nikki.
So yeah, we out here though. How's everybody's week?
Good. I was just about to ask. Hey, Mom. My week has been good. It's actually going fast, which is great. But
Very.
I think I got bit by either a spider or an ant because,
That doesn't sound fun.
and I'm allergic to ants to a degree.
You allergic to
So,
ants? I never heard of anybody being allergic to ants. Miss you too,
oh, we
Nikki.
missed you too, Nikki. Yeah, I found out when I was in middle school. I was by the window in my class, and one bit me, and my arm blew up.
Jeez.
Yeah,
So is
it
it
was a black.
just
It's a black ant. The black
so are
ant.
you just allergic to black ants or are you allergic to all ants? Like will a fire ant do that?
Oh, I've been bit by fire ants. They set you on fire.
Oh shit.
So yeah,
You've been bit by a fire ant. Where the hell you been? Australia?
South Carolina. Not those fire ants. Not the deadly ones, but the ones in South Carolina where the red clay dirt is. Yeah, I done accidentally stepped in the ant pile and got tore up. So
Oh man, that's terrible.
So are you allergic to those too?
I'm assuming so. I mean, I got bit and it burned, and
Well, I'm pretty sure anybody would burn getting bit
I
by
know,
them.
but it was terrible. When you get bit, you got to get hosed down. You got stripped down and get hosed down, and we was down the country, so
Oh shit.
Oh, we got somebody else in the show. Introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Just Star creeping in late. How you doing?
What it do?
Good. What's wrong? You ran out of lace front glue?
Oh shit.
You
And it
irritating.
And it starts.
I don't know. You must have missed my PSA, but while Mo is out, I will be in charge of most of the militant assholish activities while he's out.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty interesting.
What the hell are we talking about today?
see, Nikki know about the fire ant.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it's down. So, all right, before we even get started, Star, how was your week?
Very, very eventful. As y'all know, but our listeners don't know, I spent 10 days in the hospital, but I am doing better now and ready to have a good time with everybody. So everybody that prayed, thank you.
You sound good too, by the way.
Indeed.
Thank you. I'm feeling very calm, very clear headed, ready to do some things.
Okay. So let's get right
That's
into it. I don't know. It's been a lot of shit going on. Let's talk about with the drama at the Olympics. Recently,
I was about to suggest that too. Let's get it.
Recently, Simone Biles just withdrew herself from the Olympics, not for anything injury related, but to focus on her mental health. By her comments, pretty much in the summary, she said that it's supposed to be a good time and not so stressful. It's been a lot going on with the Olympics. What's y'all take on this?
I think it's a bunch of BS. And let's cut to it. Miss Biles, the next wonder of the world, we shall say, the reason she is not in, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, is because she is too good. And they are not scoring her fairly because she is doing goat like stuff that nobody else is able to do. Is it her fault that nobody has the ability and or skill that she is? Isn't that the whole point of a competition, to show who is better? And she clearly shows she is better. So what is the rule being broke here? She created the separation and said, I'm the best, therefore I'm walking home with the medal. But you guys took that away because she's too good. We know why. We'll get into that in a second. But let's just say this. Let's just say this. There's no unfair advantage. Past all your little tests, physicals, whatever. There is no technicality. She is just simply too good. Even when they try to disqualify somebody, they would at least come up with a BS reason. Like, your butt's too big, you're too short, there's a height requirement, or your hair's too long.
We saw your bra strap, or
that too. Yeah. They would your attire was inappropriate, or I don't know, your name got too many letters in it, or something like that. No, they simply said she was too dang good and they could not score her like the rest of the girls. I think it's BS. I'm done. Next.
Somebody fired up.
I'm about to say, hold up, you done said it. You done said and shoot.
So let me start the pot a little bit, but look at it on the flip side. Isn't that kind of like a compliment? You feel me? Like you are that good that they can't judge you because they feel like it's no competition.
It's a compliment, but like it's like, look, it's a compliment, but now because granted, I'm pretty sure she already knew that. She didn't need to be. She didn't need to be told that because I'm pretty sure she was fairly confident, not arrogant, because y'all never seen her arrogant, but confident in her ability. Okay, very confident. But now you have to restructure the true meaning and definition of a competition, because I personally thought a competition was to show a separation of who was the best at something and who wasn't. The winner proved they were the best that night or that day, however. But now that the best was taken out because they were the best, what the hell is the reason for the competition?
The joint. Oh, well.
The black delegation has decided that we are no longer accepting backhanded comments. You know, that one friend that'll see you be like, oh, girl, that outfit is cute since you lost that weight. You can't give a compliment and throw shade at the same time. We're not accepting that no more.
So let me ask you this. Would you guys feel as strongly about it if she was of a different race or a different nationality?
I would, if they not won't judge her. Yeah, I would.
I would, because if it's not fair, it's not fair. If somebody, granted, if somebody was on any, let's just say for the sake that it was Team USA, just to keep the same situation. If it was Team USA and it was somebody who was not black but clearly better than everybody who has ever done this, or has ever done it in this generation, and they got taken out for the same reason, I would be saying that was some BS. Same way I'm saying it now. Point blank, period. But when has something like this ever happened to somebody not of our race?
So look, I like to pick people's brain. I just have another question. So, you would think the solution to this would be create another category of difficultiness, right? That way you're able to score her because she's the best of the best. You feel me? So do you think that they're giving up, or they just like, we have to figure out a way to deal with this? Because if she's dominating, and like I said, don't get it twisted. I'm not with it. I definitely agree that it's bullshit. I feel like if I'm the best, I should be able to compete. you feel me, and do my shit. And until somebody trains harder, you feel me, and step their game up and become able to beat me, then I'm going to be the dominant one. It happens all the time in different sports. I mean, look at the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? They went on the fucking run. You feel me? Look at the Chicago Bulls. You feel me? They went on the run. You feel me? In order to be the best, you have to beat the best. You
Ric
feel me?
Flair.
Exactly. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So it's real fucked up what's going on. But I kind of feel like if that's the case, they need to come up with another system to judge. You feel me? Like
I don't
You
going
know
know,
to,
what was so
this has
difficult.
been going on for years. I've been watching the Olympics, or I'm a gymnastics fan, and I like ice skating and everything. You know, I watched the Winter Olympics, the Summer. I'm just an Olympic and gymnastics person, and so this has been. Hey DJ Slicky, hey AJ, this has been going on forever, and they have never thought to make another category or
Mhm.
uh change like boxing with the weight classes and different things like that. They never thought to do that because they judge everyone the same. And so I don't know. I don't know. But I honestly believe, they didn't want to judge her. Why? Because she had to get all tens.
That's the point of doing good.
All 10. What's wrong with giving all tens? You can't judge it.
If
It's
it
a
wasn't
it,
her, if it wasn't her winning, it was gonna be somebody else.
Yeah.
It was gonna be somebody else. If she's dominating coaches of the teams, look at your teammates and tell them to step their ish up. Tell them to step their shit up so they can try and beat her.
No. Another thing that I've seen one of my friends on Facebook say, uh, he definitely understands where she's coming from, and he stands with her about the mental health situation. But if this situation was vice versa, and it was a man doing this, that instead of getting the support, he would be getting crucified. How do you guys feel about that?
I
In
agree.
what way?
I agree.
So they're pretty much saying that if a man would have stepped down the same way she did, he wouldn't have gotten the same support.
Of course not. Of course not, yo. Because the energy is never the same when it's a man versus a woman. Whether no matter the situation, the energy, that's just how society is. Granted, because you got to think there. You got to think just the climate in times of how this Olympics is built. We got three black dominant women that are going were involved in the Olympics or were about to be involved in the Olympics that are going through controversial situations right now. Track, gymnastics, and tennis. It's all centered around the black woman right now. And granted, I'm happy as heck. I'm glad to see a black woman dominating this sport and so on and so forth. But at the same time, would it be there if would it be the energy be exactly the same if everything happened the same way for the same reason for a black man? Probably not. There'd probably be support, but would everything go in a uproar? Probably, but not as heavy. We don't know. But but there is a huge difference. There would be
Now,
a huge
now
difference.
quick that he would not get this. Look at who was it?
I
Marshawn
didn't say they
Lynch.
would. I didn't say
No,
they
I'm
would get
just
the same.
no, he
I,
wouldn't. I don't think that he gets the support. I think he would get a lot of backlash,
Hmm.
especially from Stephen A. So it's like you guys don't get the support that we get, and you guys go through the same things that we go through, but you just don't get the same support. So I totally agree with your friend. I totally agree. Anytime, especially football players, basketball players, anytime something happens and they have to just walk away or whatever, they get clowned. Oh, you a punk, or it's not the same. It's not the
Hmm.
same.
No, it's kind of crazy. It does seem kind of like it's racially driven, especially everything that's going on in the Olympics. I know we discussed that they banned swimming caps that was specifically made for black swimmers, and I know we all feel a certain type of way about this, but in my time of thinking, I was just wondering, would it be different if they didn't market it as being specifically made for black swimmers? You feel me?
Okay, so I look, and they said that the shape of the cap, and
Hmm.
if it's not like it's real big, but it's a little bit more spacey because we have hair,
Right.
and it wasn't according to the guidelines of the cap, which the original swim caps are made for white men, white women, and their hair has no volume. Naturally, some of them do, but naturally, their hair has no volume.
That's crazy. So I mean, you would think that a swim cap will actually be literally, I don't want to say one size fits all, right? But because it's what is that spandex? It's not spandex.
Something like that. It's like I want to say it's a rubbery. I haven't had one. I never wore one before.
Yeah,
But
I
you
don't
got to
have
think.
hair anymore, so I don't need one.
But that's the thing. Take the coarseness of a Caucasian's hair and take the caps that they wear. Try to fit an afro into that. You
I
know,
got you.
I imagine it's not comfortable
I
because you
got you.
gotta really make sure everything is in there. You gotta fight with it for 5-10 minutes.
But
You know,
don't they actually wear two caps though? They wear
I have
uh
not the slight. I have no clue to be truthfully honest. I don't know
okay.
how many caps they wear, but it looked like their head is concealed.
I mean, it sounds kind of stupid unless it's proven that that cap makes them more aerodynamic. You feel me? And helps them swim faster. Then it's a bunch of bullshit. Of course, it's always a bunch of bullshit when black people's involved, and I don't mean that in a negative way. You feel me? I mean that just in the view of, what I'm saying, when we're trying to, when it's our time to shine, there's always some bullshit.
But what all in all, what's the point of the Olympics now? What is the point of competition? Because when you train for these things, you train to outtrain everybody. You
Yeah.
train to be the absolute best. And when someone has trained to be the absolute best, they get penalized for being the absolute best.
Hmm.
Because you go to a competition to prove you are what? The absolute
Absolute
best.
best.
And now, because you are, it's unfair to all the other ones who didn't train hard enough to be
That's
the absolute best.
that's what happens when you have to tell everybody to let this person win. You know how we was in school and we used to play dodgeball, and people used to pick and people didn't get picked. Well, it happened when the teachers or the parents say, "Oh, no, 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 everybody got to win." It kind of does something when you say everybody has to win. There's nothing wrong with trying to let everybody feel good or whatever, but it's a difference. This is a competition, like you said, and it just doesn't make sense.
So now she has to dumb down her skill. Instead of doing that
Hmm.
triple spiral, just hit one spiral and stick it. Just stick it. Just go
And
easy
guess what?
for a little
And
bit.
then they will say that it wasn't good enough.
So I
You
think it's
can't
fair to
win for
say
losing.
this is evident that the world is getting even more softer. You can't say what you want to say, and you can't compete and be the best without somebody saying, "Here, let somebody else win," or "Here, let's give a participation trophy." So let me ask that. Speaking of that, so let's bring it back down to the younger generations. Now they're giving out participation trophies. You feel me? New generation soft. I definitely agree, AJ. So how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think participation trophies are necessary, or should it just stick to straight the winner?
I think when they're little, when children are little, like kindergarten, or when they're a certain age, yes. But after a certain age, or you're little, of course I don't know how to explain it though, but I honestly believe when they're little, yeah, okay, oh, you did a good job, da, da, da. But when it comes to a certain age, you can't do that because you have to understand. Like I tell my children, because I've always been the one who, if I don't just buy something for one child, I'm going to buy something for all children. And if
Hmm.
somebody's at my house, I buy stuff for them too. But then it gets to a place where they believe that they supposed to have stuff all the time.
Hmm.
And so I had to teach them, like, listen, just because this person has something does not necessarily mean that you have to have it, nor do they have to share with you. You can ask them, but if they tell you no, then the answer is no. You have to teach your kids things like, I mean, we have to learn when you get out in this world. It's not here, take this, or it's not fair. You have to fight for what you want. You know what I'm saying? You have to go and compete, like Quick been saying, and for what you want. And we have really made it to a point where children feel like they don't have to compete. They don't feel like they have to do everything has to be handed to them. It's like a privilege or gosh, the word just left me. The children are privileged.
I definitely agree with this.
And they have the audacity to want should it says should stick to the winner, the coach or the parent should speak up and say you did your best. We will do better next. Yeah, exactly, because that's what they used to say to us.
I actually think they should just eliminate it, period. I think even in little kids, I feel like they need to learn the lesson earlier. You don't get rewards if you don't win. And it sounds harsh, but it's a reality of life.
It's facts,
You feel
though.
me? Like you don't get a promotion at work and you're a terrible employee. So you know what I'm saying? Why should I give you a congratulations trophy? If it's going to be sports, you get your picture, your team picture, your individual picture. You know what I'm saying? And your little baseball, your football card. You feel me? Other than that, nah. You know what I'm saying? You win, you bring home them trophies. You feel me? I kind of think that forces kids to work hard and take care of themselves and focus on getting better. You feel me? At whatever the skill is. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's ridiculous to give out participation trophies.
Well, that's like the
Agreed.
Special Olympics, because in the Special Olympics, everybody gets a medal and the certificates and stuff like that. So we have conformed our society to the Special Olympics.
But you want to know something? The Special Olympics is the only time that I would say participation.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we have turned everything else into the Special Olympics.
Well, Star is back, so should we get her 2 cents?
Star.
What are we talking about?
We are talking about this. Yeah.
Do you think they should be given out?
Yeah, I got
Still experiencing technical difficulties, y'all. Just keep the conversation going. I'll jump in a moment.
No problem. So,
nigga, what?
so mute yourself, Star. Mute it.
I am muted.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. We hear you.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. I am muted. How did you respond to me? If you... Anyhow. All in all, yo. Now people gotta think twice before we enter the Olympics now. How hard do you really gotta train? Because apparently if you're too good, you still don't get the gold. You still do not get counted for what you're striving for. You go to the Olympics to prove you're the best and get that gold medal. So now, if you're the best, you still can't get the gold medal. Is that what they're saying? So now we got to rethink this whole competition.
So do we boycott the Olympics? Do we not go? Do we not train to see? You feel me? Like it's weird.
I don't know, man. But until I don't know, that relies solely on the people, because we can say all we want to on this platform, but unless people act as a unit, nothing is going to change. You
want to know something?
So
I think people need to do what Brett Favre did, and not Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Recently, Aaron Rodgers sat at a press conference and talked the most shit professionally about his job, about how his team, his organization dropped the ball. I'm talking about he laid into their ass. I say that people need to start doing that. I think it's a lot of fuck shit going on behind the scenes. I think people are so scared because they're going to lose endorsements and all of that. Nah, obviously there's something going on behind the scenes with that. Someone posted earlier on Facebook how they went back and looked at. They showed their daughter the footage of the young lady. Carrie. I don't want to fuck her name up. Carrie Strode in the Olympics. That landed that one-legged vault. Like, if you go back and watch that, she was saying that she can't do it. She was saying that she was hurt. She was fucked up. but they were pushing her. You feel me? Like when I watched it in a different light, it's kind of like, damn, like the fuck, this child is saying I can't do it, I'm hurt. And when she landed, you can see that she was fucked up. You feel me? They didn't care about her mental health or her
No, they
physical.
don't. I'm telling you, gymnastics. And remember, in the '90s and early 2000s, all these movies were coming out mainly on Lifetime about what happens on in the gymnastic field and in the world. He said it's not a competition no more
That's
if everybody
facts.
gets something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it shows them it shows you the pressure that these girls and the men go, the gentlemen go under, the weight, the continual exercise, the practice. They push their bodies just like all athletes. You push your bodies, and you have restriction, and get to the point where they have broken bones from malnutrition and just stress. And a lot of children have to have therapy from this. It's not it's terrible. And what I like about um Simone Biles is even though she was not getting judged or the things that she's going through, she's so supportive of her team. And
Mm-hmm.
it really shows her character and how awesome she is as a person. She's so sweet. And I'm glad that she basically, as we say, kept her crown on, even though they kept trying to knock it off. So I
Yeah.
just really want to give kudos to her and Naomi and Shakari and anybody, all our other any athletes and the two young ladies that was stopped from racing track. I forgot because they said they had high levels of testosterone,
Oh
but it
yeah.
was natural. It was natural testosterone. It was their own testosterone, and they kicked them out of they were faster than Shakari.
I
You know what I'm
don't know.
saying?
I don't know, Weezy. They had a mustache and a goatee
They
going
ain't had no
on.
damn.
You ain't-
That's from their daddy side, damn it. They
And
can't
I
help
don't,
it.
and Miss Biles, I do not blame you for leaving the Olympics because
Hell
nobody
no.
should do all that work and break all these records and showcase their greatness and not have nothing to show for it
You know
in a
what?
competition that they got in
But you
fair.
know what? She
If
showed. She showed. She has the
Of
support.
course she,
She,
of
what I'm
course she
you
saying.
know,
The
showed.
only thing she didn't get was the piece of metal. You know what I'm
so
saying?
Of
look,
course she showed. Of course she showed.
here's
But
the
I'm saying,
alternative.
why finish?
Here's the alternative. If that's the case, they need to pay her and bring her on like she's a celeb as a special guest and let her do her thing at the extreme difficulty and pay her. Simple as that. Give her that bag if that's the case. That's the only way to fix this.
So then that's kind of like she's a performing
Pretty,
artist.
yep. Everything is different. Think about the 80s and 90s to now. I know I'm off subject, but I've seen so many gym heads ever in my life. When I was a kid, think about it. It was Simmons and I think Billy Blank. Yep.
Yeah, Simmons was like the '80s, '90s. Billy Blank was like the 2000s,
Yep.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Ain't that the Tabo dude?
Yeah,
Yep. Man, I was
he
fucking
did. So
through
he did
Tybo.
some movies too. I didn't know that until I did a little research. But he was in quite a
Word.
few movies.
For real?
Yeah.
Which one of y'all had the Tybo tape? Who mama
Not
had the
me.
Tybo tape?
I could. We was poor. We couldn't afford it.
I couldn't afford it
My
either.
mom had at least three of them things.
I used to watch the infomercials, try to do what he did on the
Right.
infomercial.
Try to
I'm
just get
sorry.
that one
I'm
little bit
actually
piece of
starting. I'm
his
actually
routine.
starting to. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm actually starting to get a little mad right now because now the more we talk about it, because for real, at the end of it all, I can't look at who wins that because I hope USA wins it. But if they don't, I can't look at who wins that gold medal at the end of this honorably because they wouldn't because the person who they wouldn't score would mop the floor with you. Like straight up. Like at the end of the day, she deserved the dang medal. She deserved it because she was the best. And she was gonna easily prove it. But being that y'all wasn't gonna score and count none of her ish, she left. Because what's the point of staying in the competition that even if you won, you didn't win?
Now look, speaking of being the best and being the head of the competition, we had a topic for tonight that if the answer is no to the engagement, is the relationship over? You feel like she's the best. You feel me? You beat the competition, and she says no. Are you going to continue that relationship?
And you know what? I wanted to hear from you guys because
Hmm.
as most states all the time, you guys control the relationship, the marriage, we control the sex. So I really wanted to get you guys' viewpoint on that.
Technically, you guys, to some extent, you guys control where the relationship goes because you
Hit
still got to say yes. If you say
it with the
no,
horns.
stop, and you ain't going nowhere past here. If we're still in the relationship, we're the head of it, but how far we go, you still have control over that.
Yeah.
You're the one who comes to us saying, all right, we got to have this conversation most of the time. Most of the time, it's y'all. Y'all want to know what the title is, where you're going to go. Y'all talking through. Y'all want that discussion, and we got to give it to you. Now, to get back to the question at hand, is the relationship over if at the proposal, she says no? That solely depends on the two people in question. Now, if the two people are completely on two different pages here, if that conversation was not had, if one person feels they're far along than the other, and there's a communication gap, more than likely that could be fixed. But at the same time, if it's too much of a gap there, it might be over. The person who's like, hold on, we're not ready for this yet, and somebody jumped the gun, there's a possibility that may be unfixable. Now, there's some situations where I feel is more drastic, where a person feels, well, you had the conversation, you both seem like you're on the same page, pins thrown in the air, and you propose, you're anticipating the yes, and no happens. It's probably over.
So what?
I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I want. Go ahead, Rock. And
No,
you
no,
give your answer.
I'm just saying it's probably over.
So it's you got to dig a little deeper because I'm just not a person that's going to take a no without asking why. You feel me? I got to know why. You feel me? Is it me? Is it where we're at in our relationship? You feel me? Do you feel is do we have a future or are we just not there yet? It has to be a why. Now, based on why is whether I say or not. You feel me? If you just say that you can't see us being married, then yeah, the relationship's over. Because if we're in this relationship for a long term, then the goal is to be married. If that's not the goal and to build together, then what the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying? But if it's some stuff that we need to work on before she feels comfortable to be like, yeah, we can do that, then that's different.
Okay, so thinking back to where because both you, well, you're married and you are engaged. Thinking back to
I'm enslaved.
well, you're in chains, and
He's
Quick is
under
on his way.
contract.
Quick is on his way to the chains. But
I got certain clauses
and
in my
that's not
contract.
marriage is not like that. You have moments, but anyways, you put loopholes in the contract. I don't know where you gonna put loopholes. See, we gotta watch you.
I got an attorney.
Okay. You know what? Anyway, thinking back to when you were where you were when you proposed, thinking about what y'all were dealing with. If the answer was no, would you have stayed?
I'm not gonna hold you. If it was no, like Rock just expressed, I would need to know why.
No, but I mean, think about where you were at that point in time in y'all's lives.
I need to know why. At that point in time, if it ain't time right there, then hey, I don't know for real. You know, because I don't know. I don't know if it would. I don't know. Like I said, I would need before I would even make a sound decision. This is just the type of person I am. I need a reason. What's the reason why? And then then I know what direction this is going. Because in my mind, if I'm just going off of my relationship now, everything was building up and set up for this point right here, for us in agreement, for you to say yes. I need to know why this no happened. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Rock, where you were at that time when you proposed, where y'all were as a unit.
Oh, it wasn't no no. It's a yes. You gonna marry me, and I don't want his check now. I'm playing. If she would have said no, it still would have been the same. It would have been a why. You feel me? Like, you gotta talk to me. I know, like, when I proposed, we were going through some rocky shit. You know what I'm saying? But I still knew that she wanted to be my wife. So I wanted to be her. I wanted her to be my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I knew it was a possibility that she could have said no. And at the time, the place where we was, you feel me? Like, financially, if she would have said no, I would have understood it. You feel me? I would have still worked at it, but that would have started the clock. And see, that's the thing. You tell me no, and if I understand, then the countdown begins. Because I'm not going to sit around and keep waiting and waiting if we're not progressing. You feel me? If we're not going anywhere after this, and I'm showing you where I'm trying to be at with you, and we're not working together to get to that spot, then yeah, that countdown, that clock begins.
I guess that leaves me, huh?
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
I had, because that's a question I asked, that came up, and it was a good question for men because they're the ones that propose and we give the answer. And so
Right.
I asked them if where they were in their lives when they proposed, if they had gotten to know what would they say. AJ says I would have wanted to know why. She said no, I feel that that wasn't the person for you. Everybody's different.
Interesting.
Well, what I can say about that is, so I've been proposed to 7 times in my lifetime, never married. Um, it depends on how you propose. I may say yes right then to save you some embarrassment, but there's always a conversation had after. And I'm so analytical. My engagements are always a maybe when I say yes, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna try this with you, but I'm telling you now, there's just certain stuff that I just will not accept. And that's just the truth of the matter. That's how I could be engaged 7 times, but never married. It's not, I'm not sure about you. If I say yes to you, then it's because I can see a future with you. But I'm letting you know that this engagement, don't mess up. Because if you mess up, we won't make it to the altar. And I think that's
She did that again.
a young way of thinking. And I learned that as I got older, because it's like,
AJ stupid.
yeah, but it's like, it's how far are you willing to go with this person? You feel me? When they start getting on
Mhm.
your nerves, when you can't stand to see the look of their face or the sound of their voice, do you still want to be tied to this person? So now that I'm older, I don't look for proposals because it's a lot deeper than anybody has to realize. I saw something where the guy was saying that she basically forced him to get engaged to her, and then she couldn't keep up with him sexually and expected him to be monogamous. And women, we don't think about that.
Oh,
We feel like,
that was Deval and Kadeem.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but as women, we feel like, nigga, yeah, you better propose to me. Like, you better see me as a wife. But do you even see yourself as a wife? It takes a lot to be a wife, and it's not a joke. So now that I'm older, I take things like that more serious than just walking around flaunting a ring.
But you want to know something? I think what people got it real jacked up is people forget that just because you're engaged don't mean that you got to go get married 2 months from now. You feel me? It's called an engagement for a reason. That's the critical time. So, prime example, when me and my wife got engaged, we didn't set a date immediately. You feel me? Like, we were engaged for 2 years before we said, you know what? Let's set a date. You know what I'm saying? And that was the real times where I'm like, you know what? Do I really want to be with her like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, because it seems like during that period, that's when shit really is the trying times. You know what I'm saying? So if you listening and you engaged, don't rush that shit. take that time. You know what I'm saying? Stack that money. Make sure your wedding official. You know what I'm saying? But take that time to really figure out if that's the move for you, because the divorce rates are high as shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is sad. And it's all because people rush into things. You dig what I'm saying?
That's facts, you know. And I think I've actually said this on this show before, you know, because people take that engagement stage for granted heavily. That's a step in the relationship. That does not mean you get the ring and then just get married 2 weeks later. No, you can, but in actuality, that engagement is the trial run of the marriage. Because now you're not boyfriend and girlfriend no more.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're setting up to be tied together for life. This is where you really figure out whether you can live with that person's way of living, whether you can deal with their habits, so on and so forth. Unlike when you're a boyfriend and girlfriend, if you wasn't already living together, you move in with each other, and see if you can deal with waking up to that same person every single day. Whenever you turn the corner, you see them. Whenever you get mad at them, you can't just get in your car and go home. You live with them now.
Mm-hmm.
That is what engagement is for. It's a level of the relationship. Bask in the engagement for a little bit before you go to the final stage of a relationship that is marriage.
Hey, look, all my couples out here, I'm gonna tell you, shit hit way different when you in that one bedroom apartment with just y'all two, and y'all get into y'all little spats. Oh nah, nigga, it ain't no go home. You go to the living room or the dining room, and she's still there. You got to get used to it, man. And that's why. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
Nah, go ahead. I was gonna ramble. That's it.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Being as though I have been married and I am now divorced, we did not rush and get married. I've known him since I was 16. So we had years before we got married. We even broke up and ended up getting back together. Broke up for a year, got back together, blah, blah, blah. So I can say that it's not necessarily people rushing into marriage, because a lot of people rush into marriage and they are married 50, 60 years. Some people are together 15, 20 years and get married and they get divorced 2 weeks later. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot really base. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Because when you get married, like you said, the engagement is a step. You get married, that's a step. You know, it changes. The dynamics of your relationship changes when you get engaged because you take it more seriously. So, and you also have to remember that within your marriage, you're going to change. You're going to grow. You're going to have issues. You're going to go through things. And you just have to learn to adapt to that. You have to be willing and flexible to work on those things together. And some people cannot adapt. Some people aren't willing, or some people don't know how to do that, you know. And that's not, you know, sometimes that just happens that way. And you can't, and what I tell the people who like in my situation, my ex-husband tells everybody, don't get married, don't get married, don't get married. And I'm like, why are you telling people not to get married when it wasn't marriage? It was the two people in the marriage that causes the problem. It's not marriage that's a problem. It's when you have two people or one person who's not willing to work together, and the split happens and you never come back. Or if you try to come back, you know, that's what it is. So people have a confusion that marriage is terrible. Marriage is not terrible. I love being married. I love being a wife.
So let me ask you a question.
You know,
do you think the whole process of being married is overrated? Like just going saying I do when you could be with someone forever and never actually officially get married. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen people been together for years and never got married, and they've been like in the most happiest relationship ever. And then I've seen people get married and just become fucking miserable. So do you think that marriage...
I think it's the title. I think it's the title. And the thing is, okay. I think if you take your friendship and you take what you had in your relationship and engagement and everything into your marriage, you'll be okay.
Mhm.
If you take that understanding, that caring, because you hear the word marriage and then it does something to some people. You know what I'm saying? You like I said, you could be together 20 and 30 years and then you get married and then everything flip. And it's because now this is your husband, this is your wife. And
Mhm.
some people take things more seriously than others. And you just have to, I don't know. I don't think it's I just like I said, I think it's the mindsets, the people. Sonya said my ex-husband is on his third marriage and I was his first. Wow. But see, that's because he didn't take the time to figure out what the hell's wrong with him. But anyway,
So, so let me ask you, Weezy, based off of that, what she just said, and I ain't meant to interrupt your thought. And Star and Quick, y'all can answer this too. Would you marry again if you had the opportunity to?
like I said, it wasn't the marriage. I didn't. I like being a wife. I love being a wife. I love being a mother. It's not the marriage. It's the person I was married to. And then I wasn't. Like I said, we were together when we were younger, so we went through this whole change. We went through a lot of changes, and so I wasn't always where I am now. I wasn't all bad, but I wasn't always where I am now. He wasn't always where he is now. So it's like you have to really be willing to fight and work for your marriage.
Right.
And it takes both people. It can't be one person always standing the other, being the shield and taking all the bruises and bumps and bruises by themselves while the other person cowering in the corner. It can't be you over here, you over here. We supposed to be fighting back to back. We can't fight
Right.
all the way over here. And we supposed to. You always got to remember that you are not each other's enemies. And I think that's what happens. We get to a place where we become each other's enemy when we are actually each other's ally. I said ally. We got to remember that. And never, ever, 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 ever lose your friendship. That is most important. If you cannot be friends with your spouse, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So,
For me, some days I feel like I do want to be married, and other days I feel like it's no point. For me, I need the camaraderie that gets missing a lot. You know what I mean? It's like you can love somebody and not like them. So for me, I have to like you, and you have to like me. So on them days where we don't want to be bothered, we know what we said I do for. It's like
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm older, learning lessons better, owning my shit. And when I've been toxic and stuff like that, I need somebody that's healed or is at least willing to heal just for us to get over the hump together. And a lot of people are stuck in their ways. I've actually come to find that a lot of guys like those loud, toxic women throwing stuff at them. And who is that bitch on your phone? I'm grown now. I'm not doing any of that.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you're looking for, you won't find that here. I want to be able to love in peace. We can argue and still be adult enough to sit down and talk about it after the fact and make it work. And even if we just have to agree to disagree, we still walk away from that conversation still liking each other, because that's what'll hold the love. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to find that.
well, let me step in because you can't base it off of like, because we don't even like our kids all the damn time. I'm about ready to knock mine out. So you can't
Oh
say that.
shit.
You have to. No, I got teenagers running through here, almost teenagers. I got in betweens. I'm trying to tell you, I be happy. Look, we can't, but you can't base it off of like, and I think that's the problem because you're not always gonna like your spouse. Sometimes you don't even like yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you have to. It has to be based on love. Matter of fact, it has to be based on respect. You have to respect the person you're with, and they have to respect you,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have to respect yourself, because if you respect the person, you're not just going to do any old thing. Yeah, y'all gonna beef, y'all gonna have moments, you might have words, but then you're gonna come back and you're gonna say, you know what, I was wrong, or the other person, I was wrong, and let's work this out or whatever. It might take a few days because hey, we're human. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
look at your ass. Get on my face. Or, it's going to happen like that. But you're not always going to like the person you're with, which is just like you saying you in that one bedroom apartment and y'all beefing,
Mm-hmm.
and you only can go to the bathroom, the living room, or the dining room. And then you go to bed and you're sleeping this far away from each other, and y'all laying on the edge of the bed and you touch each other and get mad and roll. I mean, those things are going to happen.
Hey, that shit is so
It's going to
funny.
happen. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you don't have to like them in that moment. But as long as you continue to love and respect that person, once the respect leaves, the relationship is over.
But that shit, like those moments and it's funny, like you mentioned those moments. Those are the moments that I hate, but I love. Like Like we get mad, we bump each. You don't want me to touch you, don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? But knowing damn well, I needed that. You know what I'm saying? Like I just need to know that. You
Yeah,
ain't
because
as
and
tight
it's
as
like we
cold.
do it on purpose though. We do it on purpose because we really mad with you, but we don't want to because we like to cuddle. We
Look,
be
look,
pissed
look,
off. We
look,
want to slap the shit
look
out
at
you.
Quick.
What?
Quick said, "Nah, don't touch me." If I say don't touch me, don't
Oh,
touch
I'm
me.
gonna touch you on purpose because I'm gonna be like, mm.
Okay, well, what I'll say is you said respect, and maybe that's the word I should have used because I said like, right? But what you described is exactly what I was talking about. I say that because as humans, we take the word love entirely too lightly. Like we'll look at a color and say, "Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, I love that shade of blue." You feel me? But if you so this is how I can describe it. I saw a little saying, a Buddhist saying, right? They said that if you like a flower, you'll pluck it. But if you pluck a
Right.
flower, you just killed it. But if you love it, you'll water it and make it grow. I
Okay,
just
Star.
substitute the word love for like because the friendship in it. You feel where I'm coming from? If we was friends first and we know one another, we can kind of tell when the other person is tripping and let it slide till we get to a place where we can talk about it like adults. That's
Yeah,
why I
but you
said
love your
we have to
friends
like each
too.
other. Well, yeah, but it's different with your friends. You feel me? You can, me and my friends,
You're
we can
more
be beefing.
accepting though. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't spoken to you in months, but you called me and you say it's some girls outside your house acting a fool, even though we grown. I know that, you know what I'm saying? I love you and I like you, so I'm going to show up. We can go back to beefing after I've helped you out. You actually need a little bit of that in your marriage. You feel me? Because
You
as
need
a
a
wife,
lot of that.
right, you have to be a nurturer, you have to be a healer, you have to be a comforter, you have to be a homeboy, you have to be a sex pot. So on them days where you just strolled your behind in here at 2 o'clock in the morning with no explanation, and I want to get up and poison you the next morning, I still got to get up and make you breakfast. So I have
Hold
to
up.
like you.
Hold up. Hold up.
What?
I ain't eating
Put
that
the
damn
put
breakfast.
put the reins on. Hold on.
I said
I
want
ain't.
to, not do.
I, still,
Whoa.
I ain't eating the man's. I'm ordering takeout.
That was extreme at the end of the day. But you know what, Quit? As adults, even if you decided she was mad at me last night, so I'm not eating what she cooked, that's fine because that wasn't my assignment. My assignment as a wife to still get up and make sure I made you breakfast. If you didn't eat it, that's on you. And that's where it gets marred. You feel me? We start concentrating on what the other person's role is as opposed to just our own. If you don't eat it, that's fine. But I was still supposed to get up and cook it. I have
So
to
would
like
you?
you to get that far. Go ahead.
So would you be mad if he didn't eat your poison eggs?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I would find it funny because if we got that far, you know me, and you might feel like I'm a little violent. So I would kind of expect you to be like, thank you, but I don't want it. It would just be funny. I would eat it.
I'll be like, you bite it first.
Basically,
Look, that's
but
so
but the
funny.
point, but watch
You bite
this.
it first.
Right, but watch the point in everything that all of us just added to that. When it comes to that moment where you get up, knowing that I was mad and that I still made you breakfast, and you like, nah, you eat some first. That might cause us to bust out laughing, and that kills the anger. You see what I'm saying? That only
Oh
happens
yeah,
when you like each other.
it's gonna kill the anger because you ain't kill him. You gotta laugh it off.
No bullshit.
Oh,
God.
hold up. Mm-mm.
But nah, I get what you're saying because
Yeah.
even when I piss my wife off, she still makes me eat and gives me good
She
sleeps.
makes she does she when she makes you eat. Does she make you eat it?
Well, she gives it to me and then she gives me that look, which
And
makes me
you still
wonder
eat it, don't
sometimes. I do what my dog do. I smell it for a second
you?
just to make sure
Well,
it ain't no.
Blanco's still alive, so it ain't poison.
She ain't gonna kill Blanco
No,
now.
that's funny.
She don't know
Hold on.
Blanco getting the food.
Look,
Mm-mm.
on the couch laughing like shit right now.
But see, that's laughter too.
Poison. He did.
Keep laughter in your relationship. Even in the tough time, you need that. Even in friendships, even in life, you got to find a way to laugh. And I think we take things too seriously. I think we take it too seriously, and I think that's one of the issues. We take everything too seriously because we get hurt, we get in our feelings, we get in our emotions, and I think now some things aren't funny. You know what I'm saying? But I think we need to keep comedy or keep the laughter in our relationships. I think we lose that too.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important. I'm gonna tell you something, and it's gonna sound strange to y'all, but I swore I saw it work. So my mother and my stepfather, right? They was getting into it when we was younger, and my mother got this daggone book that's supposed to tell you how to work on your relationships or what have you. And there was one part in the book that talks about how to stop an argument, right? And it said that somebody has to play the big dog and somebody has to be the little dog. In the middle of the argument, if you feel it getting too heated and you don't think it's going to be an end to it, one of the partners needs to start barking and the other one needs to just follow suit. So as funny as that was, it worked for a lot of their arguments. You feel me? My
Oh my
stepfather
god.
being the man, he always wanted to be the big dog. And sometimes my mother would like a little one and then she'd woof bigger than him. So ultimately they would laugh. Once they got finished laughing, they was able to communicate with each other and talk about what the real problem was. So I thought that was dope. That's something that I kind of live by now because I seen it actually work. I'm like, okay, I only have one rule in my relationship. When we arguing, let's try this. And it's funny to people at first because they like, what? I'm not barking. But then when you actually do it, it brings a joy out of you that calms you. And now you can have a conversation. So I thought that was super dope.
I don't know if Kiki bark at me in the middle of a relationship, I'm gonna bite her ass.
In the middle of a
She goes
relationship.
in
In,
an
in an
argument,
argument, I'm sorry.
but she gonna bite you back. So I guess
I
y'all
ain't
gonna
going
be
front.
gnawed up.
Exactly. And y'all will be laughing and y'all can talk because she
Uh-huh.
probably
Then
gonna
they
bite
gonna
you
start
back.
the wrestling. Uh-huh.
Oh no, she bite
Absolutely.
hard. I don't think it's gonna be a little bit of laughing because she bite hard.
Well, just
I ain't
make
going
sure the
front.
area
I
that
ain't
she
going
bite is
front.
the area you like, and then it's gonna lead to something
Denise was
even
just.
greater.
I ain't going front. Denise would probably just resort to biting because if she start barking, I'm gonna laugh right in her face. She got like that high pitched voice. She'll sound like a little Yorkie, like straight up.
Oh,
I ain't gonna hold
You
you.
ain't right. You ain't right at all.
Hey, I
God.
mean, I'm
Okay.
being honest.
That y'all so damn crazy. So okay, so um crap, I lost my train of thought. Damn it. I hate that. I hate that. Okay, so what do you think? What advice would you give your friends? Because I like to hear men give advice to their friends when it comes to their relationships or marriages or whatever. What advice would you give your friends who is in a relationship or wants to be in a serious relationship or wants marriage?
Don't eat the food after you argue.
Quick, why are
Don't
you
love
making that
them.
face?
I mean, all right. So, what advice would I give my friend who's not gonna take the advice anyway? Um,
Right, basically. They
All right,
ain't
so
gonna listen
look,
till
let
they
me
come back for the
think.
fourth time.
so quick. While you thinking, I got mine. I got mine on the serious note.
What's up?
So this is the best advice my father ever gave me. He says, "Son, just shut the fuck up." A woman could not argue by themselves. Just shut the fuck up.
Unless she's
And
schizophrenic.
well, yeah, well, that's a different situation. But at first, me, young me, like, nah, pop, I ain't rocking like that. I don't shut up for nobody. Until that one day where I just said, shh. And eventually, she stopped fussing at me. I was wrong, but she stopped. And it works. It works. Just shut the fuck up.
That's true. It works both ways, I tell you that.
Man.
I
Well,
do
I don't
agree.
know. I can talk for days. I go look at myself in the mirror and argue with my damn self. What you talking about?
Why you
Hell
why,
nah.
look, why you looking at me like that? Why
Right.
what
Like, cuz you keep cutting me off.
quickest?
Similar, but not just but it goes more than just it goes more than just an argument, because this is just in general. But it works easier on women, I noticed. But you learn a lot about a person from silence. Sometimes, like, because maybe it's just me, I'm easy to talk to them. When people just start talking, I don't ask questions. People just tell me stuff, including females. Even in argument, exactly who you're dealing with just by listening. Silence is your best weapon because silence is necessary. Let you figure out what your next step is going to be, or your next response. Silence is necessary because they won't see it because they won't see it coming at all. And the best sound in the world is when a woman says, "Oh, so you just not gonna say nothing? Just gonna be there quiet and shit?"
And as much as you want to be like, "Yup,"
silence is necessary. Cause what happens after that?
Hey, Mom.
Just know you are now in her head.
Man.
That's that psychologist coming out.
It's a gift.
Now, when she started being like, "Oh, all right," and shake her head and walk away,
you just won.
Trouble. No, you in trouble.
Well, yeah, you in trouble. All right. Oh, all right. Yeah, you in trouble, but you in trouble. She got nothing. She got nothing on you though. Now, whatever she does at that point in time, if you're in the right, especially you, she's now is just gonna do out of spite. Cause now she can't get a rise out of you.
Actually, that's the craziest thing. I'm just not that type of woman. Like, I'm not arguing with you to get a rise out of you. And if you sit there quiet or what have you, I'm not going to keep screaming at you. I'll probably just walk away. It's crazy to hear men's opinions on that because I've never been that type of female. Like,
now it's not all females. Like I said, silence teaches you about the female you're dealing with. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's how we find out. Yeah. That's how we find out if you're that female. Now,
be quiet first.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say, like, do you know how I tend to handle my arguments? Like, seriously, I love cards. Like, spades is one of my all-time favorite games. I know everybody knows how to play I Declare War, right? So I'll get out the deck of cards, I'll shuffle them, I'll pass the cards out between the two of us, and we'll start throwing down the cards. Whoever has the larger card, you now have the floor, like kind of like a debate, but with cards. You feel me? So like if I throw out the ace and you throw out a 5, I have the higher card. So now I'm explaining to you what you did to make me mad. If the next card comes out that you have the higher card, like I have a 2 and you have an 8, then you're now telling me your side of it. Like, okay, well, nah, because if you had never did this, I wouldn't have did that. If we throw out the same card, then that's just a fun moment. It's like literally 2 minutes of us both trying to get our point across at the same time. And you go back to, I don't know why, but I feel like when you keep the game and the youth in it,
I'm gonna tell you right now, that is a rare and psychologically advanced approach, because I bet you if you go to 10 women who get into that situation where they're fuming mad, I will say at least 9 out of 10 of them, the last thing they're gonna say is "let's play a game." So you are very rare, and that's very advanced. But you, like I said, rare.
If me and Kiki get into an argument and she say "let's play a game," I'm gonna assume that she's turning into Saul, and I'm getting
facts. Take all the knives out the kitchen, bro.
Right. But see, that's what I was explaining when I said I have to like that person, because me, even in anger, I like you. You feel where I'm coming from? Like if we break up, we'll still be able to have conversations. So I'm going to look for, okay, what can I bring fun and clarity to this situation with? You feel me? So I'm the type, if you piss me off, rather than throwing something at your head or cursing at you, I'll grab the pillow and start beating your ass. Either you going to know to grab a pillow and fight back. I'll grab the kids' Nerf guns. I'll shoot you with that. Like, that's just me. That's what I mean when I say I have to like you to go that far with you. When I want to tear your head off, I still have to see fun in you.
Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you this disclaimer. Star is mean as fuck when it comes to hitting niggas with pillows. I seen it live.
Yeah. Man, see, yeah, and don't let that look. Y'all haven't seen or met Star in person. Don't act like this is gonna be a sexy, friendly pillow fight. Star and me are about the same height. She about to wind that bitch up from Texas and bang, knock you square the fuck out. Straight up. It ain't gonna be no soft. It ain't gonna feel like you got hit with a pillow. You would have thought she put a brick in that bitch. Like straight up. If she wind up with all her power,
like, yo, why I just saw somebody fly across the room? Oh my god!
Keep thinking this all fun and games with Star. Star gonna have your ass wanting to fight for real. She hit you with that hard ass pillow.
Hey Star, I bet you all your boyfriends said one phrase to you in common.
You said they all said what?
They all said one phrase to you. Young, go ahead, stop playing.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about that. I'm gonna give y'all ladies another little quick jewel. Every last one of them have said that, but here's the key to why. In those instances where the fight is heavy, I've always been known to tell the kids, get dressed, go to grandma's house. So once there's no children in the house, I fight dirty. Okay, I will go get me a nice little shower. I will throw on lingerie and come in the room whooping your ass with a pillow. Because what you gonna do? I'm standing there dressed like that, and I'm doing this. How you gonna
use my dick as a
you gonna get this pillow action too? Fuck that. That lingerie don't mean a damn thing. You see how if you come in here and I feel like you hit my ass with a fucking iron board, you catching it.
Look, I'm sorry. Look,
I fight dirty in a good way.
Let me tell you like this: if that was to happen to me, I'm gonna do what I seen on X videos. And yes, fuck Pornhub is X videos. Do you know that there is a section where they wrestle and fuck in the middle while they're wrestling? That's what.
Yeah, I seen that.
That's what would happen. There's no way that you're gonna try to hit me.
Actually, I didn't search for that. That showed up in my suggested video.
Crazy, right? I used to
suggested. Huh? I think it's beautiful.
Yes, suggested, and I'm sticking to it, damn it.
Hey, look, him and Mo been hanging together.
No,
I think it because there was no level. That was
no, because there was no booty play involved. It's not Mo involved.
That's the beauty in it. After doing all of that wrestling and sexing and all of that, who the hell is thinking about that argument or even trying to go back to it? If you're not too tired to talk, you did it wrong.
Hold on, but look, when you catch your breath, somebody gonna spin the block. Somebody gonna spin the block.
You might, but you know, most of the time after sex, you kind of just lay there and just talk. If you
because you've released all those good endorphins and that good dopamine, you feeling good. Exactly. Listen, one of the things that I learned. Okay, let's go to a biblical sense for a brief moment. They say that marriage is sacred and that sex is only supposed to be for the married. The fact that they put that in a holy book, you really should want to think about why. Sex opens up communication for a lot of relationships. Like, think about the fact that people say, if you take sex away, what do you have left? You feel me? In an argument, when you have sex, literally the dopamine from your brain releases and relax your body. So you are now prepared to communicate because you're feeling good. And people don't understand that that is a scientific fact.
Yeah, but also, if you want to know if you have a good relationship, take the sex away. Not necessarily to punish, but stop having sex for a good little while because sex can also mask. It can also mask issues.
So I have a question. If in the start, you have a good point because sex does make shit a little easier to talk about. So why is that a punishment? You know what I'm saying? Oh, no touch.
I don't think it is a punishment. Well, I mean, I don't know. Probably, in all honesty, because when you love each other, Not only do you want to touch each other all the time, you crave it too. So the don't touch me kind of is a punishment because your being wants to be wrapped around this person. But as far as taking the sex away, that's the whole point. Because if you don't have that to release that dopamine, you have to like each other.
But
A
you
lot
want to
of
know
people have
something?
nothing in common but sex.
That attitude of don't touch me when you get upset or get off me, that leads to infidelity. You feel me? Because once you
I
start
agree.
pushing a person away, you feel me? They're gonna be need to get fulfilled that feeling fulfilled somewhere else. And it's always somebody that's gonna be like, I wouldn't be like that. And you wanna know something?
Got your own room.
We
Huh?
need to start a segment on the show for Wheezy called "How Many Kids Are Being Cussed Out or Crying on the Floor." Right now, I'm predicting it's 4 kids right now being told the truth. What y'all think?
But what you just stated, Rock, that was exactly my point about having to like a person. Like I said, maybe I chose the wrong words and maybe Weezy gave me the right ones, but that's what I mean about having to like a person. Because if I'm really, really mad at you, like seriously mad at you, and you're horny, if I'm living my life according to the Bible, it says I have to turn over and give you what you want, no matter how I'm feeling. You feel where
Excuse
I'm
me.
coming from?
What happened?
The Bible says that when your husband wants it, you're supposed to give it up, and it don't matter how you feel. So,
Where you say that
and
at?
that is supposed to. Listen. I'll go Google
I'm
the
messing
exact
with you.
scripture. I know
Now I
you
was getting
are.
ready to say I
I
need
know
to
you
use
are.
that
But
in
the point
my
is
for
just
my
No,
advantage.
but it don't specifically
the
say
point
that.
is
But what
simply
it, yeah.
it means that it doesn't say those words, but that's what's implied. The point is basically not neglecting your wifely duties. The point is when you become a wife, these are all things that you have to think about and take seriously. You can't keep picking and choosing what you want and what you don't want. You either be a full wife or don't be a wife. Because if your husband does go cheat, you can't stand somewhere, even in front of a pastor, and say, well, he made me mad 4 weeks ago, so I just decided he wasn't getting any. Because the pastor is going to tell you, sis, that you're wrong.
Well, I'm not about to disagree with that, but um, shit, god damn it, I hate that. Uh, go ahead, y'all. I gotta let it come back.
Them kids must be stressing you out tonight.
One has been whining since I've been home from work, and I'm about ready to knock her out. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, see, that's why. See, you stressed.
And I'm like, why are you
Just put a
whining? Use your words. And she making me forget. I'm sorry. I'm coming back. Hold on.
just say the famous lines of Bernie Mac.
I
Just
remember.
say it. Say it. I'm
With
tired of
the
these
kid
damn
ass.
kids. Just say it.
I was quick before I forget again. Okay. So what I was going to say is when you become married, you actually become one. And that's what that means. You become one. So your husband's desires or your wife's desires now become your own. And that's why even though you're beefing and fight, and the thing is, I don't think it's like purposefully. Some people do purposely keep sex as if sex is going to keep a person or punishment from sex. You can masturbate, or like you said, some people cheat, and sometimes and we can't say that always leads to infidelity because it does not, but it does distance you. It will cause a huge wedge in you because what people don't realize along with sex is not just the release, it's the connection. You need that connection. So just like with touching and kissing and laughing and joking and little touches here and there, little kisses, all that is a connection. And you have to understand that regardless if you believe in God or not, you are spiritually connected to this person. And you have to reboot that connection frequently. And it does not have to always be intercourse. You can have foreplay and don't have nothing to do with your mouth or your penis or your vagina. Conversations, touch and hugging, different things like that. You have to keep the connection going. So that's what that means when it comes, when you say that you're supposed to, you know, fulfill your husband's needs. You're supposed to fill each other's needs because now that you're one, you become each other's need. That's what I was going to say.
See how eloquent my boo thing is. See how she summed that up so freaking beautifully. Thank you.
I
But
had
that
to
was the
fuss. I
point.
had to fuss for a minute for it to come back.
And after all these months, you still have not explained how much you will spend on a man on the first date.
Thank you. Man.
You know,
Get him quick.
Talk about spinning a damn block.
he went around the whole state, Star, to go get
No, this is what I call a round trip. I got you, Mo.
Frequent
I cannot believe you did right. He done built them jaws up. Oh my gosh. You so stupid.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm with Quick. I'm still waiting for the answer since he asked.
Look, Mo is somewhere shaking his fist in the air in victory right now.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
So I'm waiting for the answer, Weezy.
I think I said $400. I think that's what I said last time. And then when I
said
kept
last time, we need an updated price.
Hey, look, that's still the limit. Goddamn it, I got kids. I wouldn't even expect you to spend that much money on me on a first date. Now that's your limit.
Star.
Yeah. She said about $450.
Wait. I asked Star. Is the name Star Weezy?
Ooh. My apologies.
Don't come for my Weezy.
Hold on. My apologies because you did say Star. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Star.
But don't get smart because I have her burn you with her Phoenix flames.
Oh. I'm going to the back Quick. You by yourself.
And the difference is you can't come back.
I'm waiting on the dang price.
I don't have a price anymore, Quick. In all honesty.
So we do gotta update them. Mo?
Yeah.
When you watch this back, because you gotta get her, Mo. I'm gonna save this heat for you. Okay. But I need an explanation while you're here, though.
I'm trying to give you the explanation.
I know. I just needed to get that disclaimer out.
I no longer subscribe to the single first date thinking. For me, myself, I would like a group date first date. So, we're basically
the hell is Rock going?
Wait a minute. What's a group date first date?
That's a good idea.
So like I'll give you a good example. So if a guy is asking to take me out on a date, right? But all of us on the show are free. Then he can bring a couple friends. I'll bring y'all. We can go to the bowling alley. Or
that's
skating or pool or I'm at this point now where I don't desire to be alone with somebody I don't know. Having friends around would make it less awkward for me, less awkward for him.
Dude, that's cool. That's a good idea.
All right. So how much money would you spend on the second date?
The second date, maybe 200.
All right. Update. All right. Reasonable. All right. We're back at the destination. We can continue.
Damn.
And look, he was meticulous and
he's
specific.
A damn pilot. Exactly.
He wasn't even a pilot. He's the one on the runway with the lights guiding the pilot.
Oh, now hold on. We got to make a pit stop before
traffic control.
Exactly. What's up, Rob?
Sorry. So, how much do you expect for a man to spend on you on the first date?
See, by the way, y'all forgot I got a co-pilot up here.
I know, y'all just tag team.
Well,
go ahead, Star.
I thought I clarified that by having a group date, you're really genuinely only paying for yourself. So you're not spending anything on me on the first date because I wouldn't allow you to take me somewhere and I have no money in my pocket. That's just
second date. Second date for Star.
Second date. I don't know. Like, honestly, second date, I would be more interested in seeing where he's trying to take me. He can take me to a museum. A museum is free. He can take me to an art gallery. An art gallery is free. You feel where I'm coming from? And then we can go get sandwiches from Subway, $5 footlongs. I don't care. When it's the dating portion, I'm really not trying to get in your pockets. I'm really trying to get to know you. So I'm going to want to see what you do with it.
And the way Weezy is nodding her head, the way Weezy is nodding her head, she's like, "Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to accept it. I agree."
Because I was actually getting ready to say nothing. Because honestly, the first couple of dates, you are supposed to be getting to know each other, so you don't really have to.
And I think that part is lost on a lot of people nowadays. It's not about the money. Put it this way: if you asked me out on a date, okay, and the first date was the group date, and the second date you said, "Well, where do you want to go?" And then the third date, you say, well, where do you want to go? And the fourth date, you say, well, where do you want to go? You're automatically showing me that you give no effort. You can't possibly want me to know you if you base everything we do just on me.
And be like, take me to your favorite spot. Yeah, I'm one of them. I
Right.
like to really pay it. I really like to get to know people. I want to know who you are, how you think, what are your interests, different things like
Yeah.
that. Show me your favorite spot. Do you have a place where you like to go to think? Different things like that. That's interesting. That's really cool to me.
Yeah. And
Do
it's
you
a
like to
turn on
roll
if
down
you
the
can
hill in
teach
the
me some
grass?
shit.
Do you like to
Right.
walk it? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm actually taking it very easy on you because you know how G.I. Mo would have got. So, anyways, my question is answered. Rock, did you have anything? Well, actually, technically, that was your question. All right, so we can move on. So, anyhow, Rolling Loud just happened. Big festival. And currently in the headlines is the baby. And the baby is in the headlines for certain things that he said about the LGBT, well, indirectly about the LGBT community. Because when they hyping the crowd up and say, everybody with a $50 bill, put your hands up, make noise. Everybody who got a clean pum pum, put your hands up, make noise. And he just decided to say some things that I won't repeat because it's awkward. So, assuming that you all have seen and or heard the audio and or footage, what are we doing here? Like, what do y'all think about it?
Nope. Quick, I got to call you out. Number one, if it was one of us, you would not let us get away with not saying what the baby said. And number two, you are a professional. You are a professional journalist, brother. There are people who did not know what the baby said. So come on with it and tell them what he said.
Fine. He said anybody who, did he say dudes?
No,
Or did he say?
Did he say dudes? No, I thought he said anybody. I don't think he said dude.
Well, it was well, I'm assuming he did because apparently they got offended. The LGBT, because if it was girls, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been that heavy. So I don't want to misquote it. Somebody did he say dudes? Like in any words, he said someone make some noise if you didn't suck dick in the parking lot or something like that. But I don't know if he said dudes specifically or not.
No,
but apparently he said something. He said it in a way that the LGBTQ community took heavy offense to it, and now he's under fire. So, Star, why don't you go first and tell us your feelings? All right, Star BSing like always. Weezy, you go. Because Star full of shit sometimes, so you can go.
What is happening tonight? I honestly, okay. Can we take the baby seriously? Like, I don't even know if we can even take him seriously. I don't even know. But I think what he said, so he was like, it was a guy in the crowd. He had on a halter. Basically, he was gay, and he had on a halter top. Blah, blah, blah. He was rocking with him, and so in his response to the backlash, he was like, "I was just basically saying, if you ain't out here sucking, in the parking lot and doing this, put your hands up or something like this." And I didn't he mention something about HIV or something like that?
He said if you don't have AIDS, I think.
Yeah,
make some noise.
And he was like, so he was trying to, and so that's what I said. It's like, we could say he was kind of targeting, but we don't know because, like I said, we can't really. I don't even know where to go with him. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, and then he tried to defend it. Well, I know a lot of gay people that are classy, and they don't even do that. And I had a lot of gay supporters in the crowd, and they was with me. And I don't know why everybody doing X, Y, Z, blah blah blah, because they got offended. anybody can get offended by that, because he could be talking about anybody. But I don't know. I really don't know what to go with him. You know what I'm saying? He just.
Well, I can go apart. Well, I will say this if I was to give him the benefit of the doubt. When an artist or a DJ does that in the middle of a set, in between songs, 9 out of 10 times it is not rehearsed. He's probably they're pulling stuff out the air for crowd participation. So I doubt if he was freestyling that crowd participation and pulling it out the air, I doubt he thought about it before he said it. He was just trying to get people to yell and raise their hands and all that type of stuff. Now, was it right or was it wrong? That's a different discussion. I can see how people can be offended, but at the same time, people say stuff offensive about a whole lot of people, and they get told to take it on the chin, But still, do I purposely think he meant to bash a particular group of people? No, because I personally think he thought of it off the top of his head. I personally just think
I don't even think he thought. I think he just said it. I think maybe he just needs to stop talking and think before he speaks. Because that, like you said, I don't think he was like, he came, I'm going to do this, target. That ain't how he was. No. And I agree with you. He just probably said it, but that was stupid. It was stupid.
I mean, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. But like but like, should they give him backlash like he's purposely targeting us and so on and so forth? I don't think that's the case, because if they know how these stage shows works, the crowd participation portion, such as that, is mostly not rehearsed. Probably feeding off of the energy of the crowd. Should he have probably thought before he said that? Yeah.
And
what do I think it would? Yeah. Should I think he had thought before he said that? Yeah. Because like I said, like some things you say, or your mouth is the pause is your worst enemy. You know what I mean? But do I think it was a direct attack? No. That's just what I think.
What their mouth do?
You would.
His mouth won't shut. That's the problem.
Now, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm kind of on the fence. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about freedom of speech. You feel me? But I'm also about being mindful about what you say. You feel me? Because not everybody who's HIV positive got it from having sex. You dig what I'm saying?
Facts.
So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, as a public figure, we what we say have more of an impact on our community. So with that being said, yes, you should be mindful, but in the same breath, you know what I'm saying, it goes back to my question: are we too sensitive now? You feel me? Like, why is it that it's tolerated for Black people to get slandered? You feel me? And I hate to use this comparison, but why is it tolerated for the slander of us? Because right now there's another fucking racist fucking billboard in Calvert County. You feel me? But when it's against other communities such as the LGBTQ, I'm sorry if I fuck it up, I can never get it right. You feel me? It's an uproar. Like, I just don't get it. It's kind of like they pick and choose of what to home in on and what to make an uproar about. Like, I just kind of feel like the world is just so fucking sensitive now. And this shit makes no sense, because I grew up in an age where you had to have tough skin. You feel me? I grew up in PG County, Slim. At school, you get joned on every day. I don't give a fuck what you look like. You could be the freshest nigga in school, and niggas still gonna fire you up. You have to,
because you don't have a mustache.
Exactly. You feel me?
Yeah.
That trained us not to be so sensitive. So why, as adults, it's a cry? You feel me? Because guess what? Whole time those same people that's making a big fucking uproar, the same people's talking shit behind closed doors. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the part that it's a double standard. You feel me? That's just like people get mad because white people make jokes about Black people. But if you go watch a Black stand-up, we making jokes about white people. Like, my nigga, like, what the fuck? Like I just think the world is too sensitive.
Of course. Well, that's not even a question whether the world is sensitive, even more sensitive now, because that it's obvious. It's friggin' obvious, you know. Even in simple things. Matter of fact, I was watching this interview, even something as simple as because I'm a wrestling fan. I think it was a Chris Jericho interview. Chris Jericho said if you took an episode of SmackDown from 1999 and played it today, if the way they did wrestling in 1999, Attitude Era style, was how they did it right now, they would get taken off the air quickly.
They
It
definitely
wouldn't last
would.
2 episodes.
Yep.
Especially the suck it. Oh man, they be
Oh
man.
yeah.
Oh yeah, out. Val Venus, Gold Dust.
Yeah.
Look, Rikishi put
The
his
old,
booty in everybody's
not the
face.
Gold Dust, not the PG Gold Dust, the real Gold Dust.
Look,
The
Rikishi
real Gold Dust
booty
that did all that. Oh yeah, Rikishi too.
suffocating people with his butt. Yeah.
Don't get me started. Come on. I mean, like, obviously, comedians can't say certain jokes now.
He was the original twerker.
I'm done. Anyhow, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess like it's back to the cancel culture. You feel me? Like who empowered these people?
Hold on, real quick. Star, would you have anything to say on the baby?
Look at your mother.
I
Ask your
miss
mother.
the
How many
days.
times
Hey,
have I actually been with that?
I miss
I've
the
never been
days
with that
where
shit.
celebrities' lives was a mystery and we had to wonder what was going on other than who
I
they were
never
dating.
agreed to it.
And I
Like
just
when you
put it
walked
that
out
way
of here,
because
call
I feel like,
yourself running
yes,
away.
we are
I'm
now
the one
in a
that was outside
society.
looking for your ass.
Hey, sorry,
What a
everybody.
wonderful kind
We
of
don't
day.
yell.
I feel like
You
we
can
do
rap.
live in a society that's a little too sensitive. And not only that, we also live in a society that's living a little too free. You feel where I'm coming from? It's like, okay, you wanted your
That's
crowd
true.
participation.
That's true.
That's all well and good, but there's certain stuff that you didn't need to say. You felt too free and comfortable to say it. So now you offended some people, and now you're mad that they're offended.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, you know, as human beings, celebrity or not, we used to govern ourselves. Now everything is about throw it all on the table and take it all off. Ain't nobody got time for that. That ain't
We knew
working.
we had discretion. We knew discretion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hey, so look, start you
I actually got a quick theory that I heard. I didn't come up with
Right.
this, but it makes sense of where the quote unquote cancel culture started. You know, I heard somebody. It was some comedian. I forgot his name, but his theory was it started with the Beehive. You know, because they are notorious for stopping bags. Carrie Hilson,
Yeah.
who else, and a few others. Canceled out of here.
I think it became
What? Can't hear you, Star.
someone black said or did.
Oh, go
You
ahead.
know, they
Go
believe
ahead.
in that blackballing.
Start.
So
Start.
they'll
Start.
tell their
Start.
community,
Start.
don't go to your
Say that
shows,
over, Star.
and that
Because
community will listen.
say that over, Star. You cut out through
Okay,
like
can
most of
everyone
that.
hear me now?
Yeah, you good now.
I said I believe that the cancel culture got prevalent in the black community around the Beehive, like you said, but cancel culture started with white people because they'll find any reason to cancel a black person and they will just band together, get behind that person and do it. It's just now being real for the black community, but no, cancel culture didn't start with us.
Now look,
We
My
perfected
opinion.
it.
We perfected it. We perfect everything.
Yeah,
We
perfected
do.
it.
We do.
so look. In other news, speaking of canceled, one of our actual childhood shows have just announced that it's coming to an end. They announced that Arthur is after this season. They are done after 25 years
No,
of
way.
25
Four.
years?
25 years.
One of my favorite after school TV shows, yo.
Yeah.
PBS Kids.
Right.
Well, y'all ready to do the sing along?
Well, wait a
Every
minute,
day
right
we
quick.
were walking down the
Look.
street.
You know, Quick was ready.
Everybody back to me has an original point of view.
And I
And I
say,
said,
hey,
hey,
Hey, what a
what a
wonderful
wonderful
kind of
kind of
day.
day.
but no, y'all listen. Speaking of PBS, so you know the first episode of LeVar Burton hosting Jeopardy has aired, and
Yeah.
everybody
Hey,
loved it. I
lit.
feel like we should get behind it. Even if you don't sit still and watch Jeopardy no more, you should just turn it on so that man can get them ratings. Because
It's on
LeVar Burton,
PBS.
well, no,
No.
no, no. Remember, he
Channel 7.
originated from
Oh,
PBS
right,
with
Reading
Reading Rainbow.
Rainbow. Right, that was my
Exactly.
show too.
He
Yes,
was Kunta
exactly.
first.
He was, but a lot of us didn't know that. If you're an 80s baby, you know
I
him from
know.
Reading Rainbow first. Then by the
Well,
time you got to middle
hey,
school, they
90
showed us
babies too.
Roots.
90s
Well,
babies
yeah.
too.
He was on Star Trek too.
Yeah,
Star Trek,
exactly.
Yeah,
dang,
he
I know
sure
what's
I
in
was.
loved
there
him on
too.
Star
Yep, he
Trek.
had the what you
I'm a
call. I
nerd.
mean, he had the glasses.
He was the blind dude.
Yeah.
But you want to know something, and don't laugh at me, y'all. The Reading Rainbow theme song has been fucked up with me for a while now, all because I heard the version with DMX on it.
No, they drank rock.
I
Yeah,
wanna
yeah.
hear
It's
it.
like I can go anywhere. Suck my dick.
Oh,
Yeah, that show is wild.
That is so funny. I died for like 3 days off of that.
Hold on. Let me
Oh,
pull
please
up the
play
audio.
it.
I got to, because Weezy, you have to hear this. If you
I
haven't heard
cannot
it,
believe they did that. That was.
But the thing is, DMX was on beat.
Of course he was. That is so. Oh man, DMX.
I was so
Broken child.
mad and happy at the same time
all right, hold on. Here we
when
go.
I
I
heard
found it.
that. Oh, you found it? Play it.
Real shit, yo.
Butterfly in the sky.
Come on.
I can go twice as high.
Let's get it on.
Take a look
Nigga,
in a book.
my nigga.
Reading rainbow.
You think it's a thing?
I can go anywhere.
Suck my dick.
Friends to know.
My nigga.
Ways to grow.
Nigga.
Reading rainbow.
Here we go again.
I can be anything.
Same old shit.
Take a look
Nigga,
in a book.
my nigga.
Reading rainbow.
This is the shit I be talking about.
Reading
You think it's a
rainbow.
thing?
Reading
You think it's a
rainbow.
thing? What you really want? What you really want? Back up, down.
my God. I'm going to tell you what's so hilarious about you saying that. Right before you play the audio, I was getting ready to ask y'all, do y'all have a favorite, DMX thing? It could be a song that he was just joking with or one of his real songs, because before hearing that, my favorite was him doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like, I dead wanted DMX to make a Christmas album after hearing his version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh yeah, that shit was wild, dude.
It was so lit. DMX was just lit.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Say what? Say what?
Right?
You know what? I did hear that. I did like that version. I did like that version.
That he did. What was it, on the Breakfast Club?
No, he recorded a studio version.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've only
Yeah,
ever
he did.
seen him
It was-
performing it on the
Yeah,
radio.
it was released like during Christmas that year. It's on it's still on iTunes and shit, and on YouTube.
Let me
I
ask y'all this.
literally would have bought a DMX Christmas album if he made it.
Hell yeah. Because Swiss Beats was gonna produce that shit.
You know,
Yeah.
that John would have been vicious. It would have sold.
So
As much
look,
as my children love Christmas music, they sure would have asked for that.
So look, it's crazy. We're over halfway through the year, and Christmas time comes real soon. It's like after football season starts, kids go back to school, football season, and then bam, it's Christmas. So what's that one Christmas song that you cannot stand?
That dang Mariah Carey.
Christmas is you.
Oh, yeah.
The Nutcracker.
Oh my. God. I'm see quick
Really?
we here because my sister. Oh God, I'm
Yeah,
sick of the
Mariah
damn song.
Carey, the most overplayed song, played so much you get tired of it.
So, did y'all see that performance of Mariah Carey when she was singing Christmas and she just fumbled that shit?
Yes.
You never seen it?
Well, that's another thing. She tends to forget her stuff a lot. Cause I'm still not gonna forget that New Year's Eve performance where she just stopped singing.
I remember that one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
when
But
the
I
song
still,
was going.
Yeah,
yeah, I still think that her performance wasn't as bad as Fergie on Good Morning America, turning them
didn't
damn
see it.
cartwheels and trying to sing. Man, I don't even remember what the song was,
So did
but
Fergie
her,
forget her lyrics?
I'm getting ready to tell you, her backing track kept going when she stopped to take a breath. So
So she
for
was
some
good.
reason the sound engineers didn't think to let the track keep playing or something. They just stopped it. So she literally was going while turning cartwheels. It just looked crazy, awkward, and horrible. I was like, oh my god, I feel like she did way worse than Mariah.
I gotta see it. I gotta be the judge of that.
I'll put it in the chat when we done, because Lord
Oh,
have mercy.
wow. So what do y'all think about singers, and is there a expiration date on artists? Not necessarily rap artists, because they do kind of we put expiration dates on rap artists, but what about singers?
Depends on the talent level because there's singers who are in there for real. Gladys Knight can have a concert tonight and they'll sell out.
Man, what?
So
Yeah.
it depends on their actual level of talent. If you are lacking talent, then yes, your expiration date. You go out with the times because you can adapt. You're just a trend. But if you actually have something that can stand the test of time, you have nothing to worry about.
And I agree with you completely, because there's a lot of old school singers that still make good music, still have velvet voices that, yes, I will buy a ticket to the concert. But let me be
Oh,
clear, I am not paying for Lionel Richie.
You not paying for King Lightskin?
Oh,
Nope, because King Lightskin sound like King Crispy Black.
but you know what? You know who I would pay a ticket for real. I want to do a song with him for real.
oh
But
my God.
my man who was in a band way back in the mom and them time, but came back during my generation and got a whole new career run, and that's
You talking
Uncle
about
Charlie.
Charlie? Yep, I knew you talking about
Uncle
Charlie Wilson.
Charlie.
Hmm.
Uncle Charlie.
He reinvented
That dude
himself
is
big
nice. That dude
time.
is fire.
Yeah.
That dude is fire.
And the Isleys, they've been out since what, the 60s, the 50s?
Yeah, something like that. 50s
Yeah.
probably.
And it's 2021. They got a new song out, from last year. With look.
That stuff. He did that
That's
for Star.
longevity. That's longevity. That is,
Like shit.
yeah.
Look at that. So I have a question for y'all while we're speaking on singers, period. My question is, how come all these women, all these scores of fans, nobody believed any of these women pertaining to R. Kelly until now it's come out that he'd been messing with little boys too? Why is it believable now, but it wasn't believable before?
Wait a minute. It came out and he's been messing with boys, R. Kelly?
Yes. So they're getting ready to do jury selection for his trial. And remember, they took tons and tons of tapes from his house. Well, found one. They questioned the boy. The boy was, I think, 14 when R. Kelly met him. He met him in a McDonald's bag.
Hold on, stop. We can't hear you.
Trifling
It
little
sounded like
bit.
she was getting ready to say McDonald's bathroom. That's what it sounded like she was about to say.
Star must got a cricket. This guy. I forgot all
Nah,
about him.
nah, that's who
The
he gonna meet by
the 19-year-old.
dog.
I refuse to believe that dude is 19 still. He been
No,
through
at
some shit.
this point, that's what I'm saying. He had it rough. Damn, R. Kelly, man.
I don't
Mm,
know.
mm, mm, mm.
I don't
And
know.
I'm not giving him no excuses, but you know that's what happened to him.
Man,
That's
you
what
want
happened
to
to
know
R.
this?
Kelly and his brother. Come to
You know,
find
He
out.
should have
you know
gotten.
what's
Somebody
crazy?
should have. Go
Like
ahead.
that's never happened to me. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of feel like that should not be an excuse for or a pass
Oh no, no,
for.
no. I'm not. I'm not.
No, no, no. I know. You know what I'm saying? But like, I kind of feel like it's even wrong when they continue to cycle because it's like, come on, you knew that fucked you up. You knew what it did to you in your life. Why are you continue to cycle and doing it to somebody else? You
Because
feel me? That's
inadvertently, without the proper help, well, and this is what I'm saying, because he had the wrong people around him who did not help him psychologically. When somebody goes through some sort of trauma, no matter what kind it is, even if they do it inadvertently, they end up becoming everything they hated.
mm,
And he had so much not help, but he had so many people encouraging him. People going to get the girls and people. He had
oh come on,
it was
Weezy. Don't sugarcoat it, mama. Call it
no.
what it
I'm
was.
not.
He had help. That's
He
help.
did. Yeah. Well, I was trying to find another word, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, basically help.
And you want to
Well,
know something? And it's sad because everybody who played a part need to be held accountable. You
Facts.
I
feel me?
agree.
Facts.
They're accessory,
Yep.
and that's some bullshit. You feel me? Like nah, like you're a part of that shit. Like I don't fuck with that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't listen to R. Kelly's music. Like I might crack jokes and hum something every once in a while because it'll pop up in my head. You feel me? But I don't know. I don't support that nigga no more. Like you know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. Because I don't fuck with that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I've completely
Facts.
stopped supporting him. It was a whole big thing of can't you separate the artist from their music? No,
No.
because every time
No.
you stream, you putting money in his pocket. There's no way
Yep.
to separate the artist from his music. If you're still listening, you still paying him, and you basically are in agreement with his bullshit.
Yep. Because you got to think, listen to the song and his content. How do you know some of those songs weren't motivated by his acts with children? And that's disturbing
Very
because
true.
low key, over the
Listen to the
whole years,
words.
he's been telling us what he's been doing this whole entire time. And
Seems
us,
like you're ready.
you feel me? Nah, that shit you
Well,
can't support
I
that
had a
shit.
question with that and Keith Sweat song. Shoot, I can't even think of the name of it.
But where he sings, "You may be young, but you ready."
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Uh-huh. But that's my
See?
whole point. I can't listen to Bump and Grind the same damn way because were you singing at about a 14-year-old? Like what's up with you?
Yep.
What's your mind telling you no about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Didn't he write Age Ain't Nothing But a Number?
The whole album
Uh-huh.
See?
had a
See?
And he
14-year-old
married
girl
her
singing about sex.
underage.
And the
Had
fucked
a
up part, and this is what I don't get about this shit. And I don't know. It's crazy how we gonna end the show on this shit. Like the world seen this shit happening. You feel me?
yeah. Just
How
think of
do
the time, man. Think of the time because since you brought up age ain't nothing but a number. If you know the timeline of
Yeah.
how an album is made, Aaliyah was 14 when that album came out, which means she was 13 when she was recording it.
That ain't
Think
no
about
different
that.
than Monica. A lot of people be forgetting that
Yeah,
Monica
yeah.
had
She was
such a
young
strong
too.
voice. Right. She said she was 12 or 13 singing Before You Walk Out of My Life and stuff. Never having relationships before. So having to figure out how she could relate it so the song come out good. The reality is that a lot of these female singers get in super young. You don't realize that they're singing about sex as a child because they're a little older when the album actually drops. But a lot of them come in very, very young singing about sex acts and believe me, it's horrible. It's horrible when you get down to the nitty gritty and behind the scenes. And all we know is we just like good music, so we're gonna buy it.
Mm-mm-mm.
The industry, Lord have mercy. And the fact a lot of this stuff happens outside of the industry, but it's like that industry is terrible. And like you said, people watch this. We watch this stuff. And honestly, he should have been locked up a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Him and a
I
lot
feel
of other
like
people.
the generation before us should have did it, and I'm gonna be honest, because think about back to when Aaliyah's music first came out, and when we first heard of R. Kelly, we was kids. Like I was going to house parties at 10 years old, watching the boys try to grind up on the girls to R. Kelly's what is it? Yeah, Bump and Grind. So of course, we saw it in our little Right On magazines and our Word Up magazines. Oh my God, they said R. Kelly married Aaliyah, but we was her age basically. You feel me? So the people
Yep.
who could have held him accountable and could have canceled him was our parents. Instead, they believed him or
And
ignored
her
it
damn
and
parents.
continued to play that music. And her parents are still not even admitting the truth, because I'm going to say allegedly, because we are media, but there's too many celebrities who was around at that time that said that he got that girl pregnant, and that's the reason he tried to run off and marry her. Her mother is coming out saying that none of that ever happened. But we've been looking at that marriage certificate since we were the kids.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's not about tarnishing your daughter's name. What about protecting somebody else's daughter? You feel like you don't have that responsibility because yours is gone? Because for me, if that had been me, I'm not tarnishing my daughter's name, but I would have been spoke out, because all of these other mothers is pushing their daughters over there. Oh, my daughter can sing, my daughter can rap, my daughter can dance. I would feel like as a
And
parent
he was
that I
open
have a
arms.
duty. Right.
Oh,
Right.
good.
They said he was literally pulling up to high schools, picking up young girls that he didn't even know. You feel me? As a mom, as a human being, I would feel a little bit of responsibility to put that out there instead of just trying to hide it. Like I would want somebody to protect their children like I maybe couldn't protect mine or whatever.
I say we got to do better. I mean, like you said, that wasn't our fault, but we didn't. It wasn't nobody's fault, but they should have pushed, like you said, and our generation now, we will call people out, or it's different things that we will do. Not necessarily cancel culture, because we're not trying to cancel anybody. But if you're doing shit like that, yeah, you got to go. You definitely got to go. And he impacted so many children's lives.
Yeah. For me,
Like,
speaking solely on the Black community, and I say that because I'm a part of the Black community, what I'm about to say can go for any community, but I'm speaking to my community. We need to get back of the mind thinking of it takes a village. If we stop looking at each other like everybody is a potential enemy, and we start trying to approach every situation with just a little bit more love, we can get further. We're not getting nowhere not having no unity. And that's all I'm saying. Like, and I'm speaking to my whole culture because I had to evolve to that thinking. You feel me? When I was in my early 20s and maybe my teens, I would look at another girl who looked cute, and rather than giving her props, I'm rolling my eyes and sucking my teeth. I had to come to that elevation. I feel like as a people, it's time that we stop bullshitting and get to that elevation.
yep. And every child, look at them as your child. That's why I say bonus whenever it's other kids. Yeah, this is my bonus child. Wherever I am, if your child is with me, or I don't know this, if I see a child, that's my child, and I'm gonna look out for them like I would look out for my own child. So we really need to, if for nobody else, the children, because they really do need that. They do need the village, and we have lost our way when it comes to stuff like that.
Quit. Some say.
Get back to beating these kids' asses.
Hey,
How did I know that's what he was thinking? OMG.
so look, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap the show up because that was short, sweet, and simple. And that's what really needs to fucking happen. Like, let's get back to the day we putting foots in asses. You dig what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get this thing started. How we gonna do this? Who kicking it off tonight?
Yeah, you already know. Go ahead.
I was gonna let one of y'all go.
Let me go because I'm the one having technical difficulties, so I may not be able to get it out. It's your girl, Just Star. Follow me on all platforms. Look up Just Star. Catch me here every Thursday night at 8:30. We got more things coming up. We love y'all.
I am the Blue Phoenix. You can catch me at the Blue Phoenix Hills on Facebook and Instagram. Also every Wednesday at 8:30 on both sides of the coin. We haven't been on for the past 2 weeks, but we'll be back soon, you guys. And here every Thursday.
Yeah. Y'all already know who the heck I am, Mr. Quicksay 86, Mental Elixir. You know what it is. K Quick. Follow me at the real K Quick on everything. I am kquick.com. It's beats, bars, and faith. Get that asylum out. Yeah.
Well. It's my time. All right, so look, I'm gonna be a little long-winded tonight. So real quick. So we are looking to open the podcast room at Red Vision Studios mid-August. So if you know anybody that's in the DMV area, right, hit man. You know what I'm saying? So if you know anybody that's looking to start a podcast, that's looking for pre-recorded podcasts, live podcasts, holla at us. You know what I'm saying? Send them my way. We're actually about to offer them a larger platform depending on your budget. You know what I'm saying? So just holla at us, get with us.
Let's just say what it is. Yo, you can get put on freaking TV. So if you want to expand and go to the world of television,
let's get it. You know what?
Yes, sir. It is a different level over there. So make sure you get your ish together if you want to become a personality of a higher magnitude.
Hey, quick. That's why you are my nigga. Hey, look, he said everything that I was just trying to say. So with that being said, make sure y'all follow me on all platforms at Tell It Made Rock. We doing it big over at Red Vision Cinema. You know what I'm saying? The whole squad is working on some dope shit. We got some good shit coming. Don't know where the hell Star went, but I guess she already said goodnight, so it don't fucking matter. So I guess we got in too. Good night, y'all.
Good night.